June was mostly a month of waiting for a certain game to come, but with that game being a late month release, there was still time for other things. I played some Japanese demos that came out while I was free, and also finally found the story and another thing that I was trying that meant I found something fulfilling in everything I played. But most of all, the game I was waiting for really didn't disappoint, as I'm still deep into it now and not wanting to put it down. So to share what I played and get right back to it, here are the JRPGs I played in June. While Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes wasn't due out until June 24th, it felt like a whole month of Fire Emblem, as a demo for it was kind enough to be dropped on the 8th, and while in the end my save data didn't end up carrying over, as I got my demo and full version regions mixed up, I still got to play 15 hours with 3 Hopes before the full version even came out, and have been glued to it ever since its actual release, getting sucked in by its fast-paced gameplay and enjoyable game flow that make it easy to keep into its fascinating world. It's also been great to rediscover the characters of this world, where I've been trying to recruit everyone, as I've found them all so enjoyable to spend time with. Between support events, playing with the classes of energized units, and a bunch of different characters, it's felt perfectly like Fire Emblem with an action twist that has really got me into it. I'm still trying to figure out if it's the action part that's getting me into it, or how it's little reminders of things you can do at camp are keeping me busy, but in any case, I feel like it's one of the games I've been most into this year that has me excited after some imperfect releases over the last few months, and with more good releases due to come throughout the rest of the year, it certainly sets the bar of how engaging and fun a big JRPG experience can be. I'm about 30 hours into the Golden Deer route now at chapter 11, and I'm also planning to check out the other routes to try and fix my regret that I didn't do that in the original 3 houses, and hope it makes for a better review when I'm finished. I hope you guys are enjoying it just as much as I am, whether you're playing one route or more, and I'm excited to keep playing its blend of strategy and action, as it really is an enjoyable take on the good parts of Fire Emblem and Musou gameplay. Before and between Fire Emblem 3 Hopes' demo release, there was a fair bit of time until the full 3 Hopes game came out, which meant there was some time for other JRPG experiences that mostly came in the form of demos for me that served as a good chance to practice my Japanese reading and also get back to some experiences I love and some I was discovering for the first time too. Before these demos was when I happened upon the main story of Metal Max Xeno after getting very lost in May trying to find it. I decided to give it a third and final chance before giving up, and when I went towards the big garage factory thing in front of me, this story started to unfold, and now feel a little silly that I could miss the main big landmark on the screen, although I will say without subtitles for the Japanese coming out of the tank's radio and no waypoints, it could be hard for others too, and I did still ultimately feel this lack of guidance and story as I played, which I expressed in my first impressions, although playing more with this Reborn version did at least get me curious enough to want to try the original someday. After that, with some free time, I had a look at Trinity Trigger's Japanese demo, a Furyu published retro RPG inspired game that I decided to check out, as I usually like what they release. It's important to note that this game is only published by Furyu and developed by 3 Rings, so it is naturally different to a Furyu developed game, although I did find the gameplay and story enjoyable enough as I played, and especially liked its monster designs. I ended up getting stuck when I got to its first dungeon though, as I'd taken so much damage on my way there, and going back to the city to go to the inn didn't really seem like fun to me, so ultimately I ended up putting it down with about an hour into the demo experience. I would be curious to try it again if the demo comes out in English, as I may have missed something in its mechanics that might have made for a smoother experience, so it will be a game I'll be keeping in mind if it ever sees an English release. An experience I did have enough knowledge to enjoy though was Void Terrarium 2's demo, which I decided I'd be happy to try, as it's an original story set sometime between Void Terrarium 1 and 2. I'll have a video coming out about the whole experience at some point, as I had a lot of fun remembering exactly why I enjoyed this charming roguelike with Robbie and Tariko, and got immediately back into playing its fun randomized dungeons that has me really excited for the second game, as it felt just as good as the first. That game has just come out in Japan, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see it in the West, as its description tab on my PS5 has been displaying a seemingly localized text line in English whenever I look at its page. I hope that means we'll see it, as it seems like it'll be a great new entry, and I hope the demo comes over soon too, so we can have the full Void Terrarium Terrarium story in English. Void Terrarium was a clear favorite from the smaller things I played this month, and between it and Fire Emblem, I'm pretty positive about the games we'll see going forward. While in July, I probably won't have time for smaller things like this, I am glad I could get time with these things in June, and hope the big releases we see this month instead will make for a fun and focused month of play. With my plan of finishing all the routes of Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, as I said, there probably won't be room for many extra things between now and July's releases. But July is jam-packed with more than enough already, with multiple huge releases coming out that I think will see most JRPG fans busy for a good while playing the big campaigns of these upcoming games. Thanks to how busy July is, one game I'll unfortunately be missing is Live Alive, a game I know many of you guys are hyped about and some have even expressed interest in me covering, but since I'm keener for the other games coming this month, it's one I unfortunately can't even consider, at least at this time of year. And it really is a case of bad timing with Live Alive for me, as I probably would have considered trying its demo that just dropped in the recent mini direct. But since I'm still playing Fire Emblem 3 Hopes, I don't have a minute to give that a try, but I would like to hear what some of you guys think of it so far, and if you pick it up on the 22nd, as I've loved what Square's done with the 2D HD style so far, and hope that this one delivers as a new take on an older game. The real challenge for this month though will be balancing the two games coming out on the 29th, which are Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Digimon Survive. Two games I can't not buy, but as someone who is bad at balancing more than one game at a time means that at least one of them will likely end up sitting on the shelf for a bit. I think the hardest part for these releases is that I just can't choose between them, with one lucky part about making this video meaning that I'll watch a bunch of trailers for both of them, which will hopefully help in my decision, and if that doesn't work, I'm pretty sure both will end up in my house, as my boyfriend is also a Digimon fan and I adored Xenoblade Chronicles 2 so much that I can't not get 3, so I may just end up playing a bit of each of them and choosing that way, but I still have no idea which one will get most of my time in July at this point. It's definitely the hardest choice between releases I've had since maybe Monarch and Atelier Sophie 2, although I had a clear winner when it came to those. Regardless, I'll be sure to let you guys know which one I end up choosing, and on a positive note, it is very cool that we get to see both of these games in the same year that are helping 2022 feel like a quality year of games. There are only a few releases this month, but they all feel meaningful that should make for a good month of games, and if they're all as good as they're supposed to be, it should be good fun whether you play one of these experiences or more that will keep us all very busy throughout the month. I hope you guys end up enjoying what you end up choosing, and don't feel bad if anything has to sit on the shelf, as we enter another fun month of JRPGs to begin the second half of this year's JRPGs with more exciting things to play. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what you played in June and what you plan to play this month. You can like and share this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more JRPG content like this, and ring that bell to get notifications on whenever I post so you don't miss a thing. You can check out more videos here, and you can find me on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at JRPG Jungle. Links to those will be in the description below, and until next time, thank you, bye!